I'm Monster Mike, and this is Bronco Garage.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
You too.
Hey, could you come look at my truck? I need some advice.
Yeah, you bet. Let's go look at it.
You know, Mike, why don't you drive it? I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah, all right, let's do that.
All right.
All right, Tony, let's see what this Bronco's doing.
Great.
So tell me a little more. What's going on?
Well, my real issue is my steering and suspension. I would really like to get this thing tight. It's not terrible, but having driven the Duck and seen what it could do, and knowing what the Duck has got on it, I'd really like you to tell me how we can make it drive like that.
Okay.
It bounces a bit, it wanders a bit. You know, it's got a little bit of that bump steer to it that I'd like to eliminate.
Great, well, let's see what we can find out. I think a new steering system will get your steering wheel dialed straight again, too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go out on a stretch of road here where we can get it up to speed. And see how it handles just regular driving.
Right. It'd be good to get some perspective on it because no one else really drives it much, so.
Oh yeah, I can already feel a little bit of that.
See?
Yeah. Kind of takes you for a little ride left to right.
Well, it's funny because this is the road that I took the Duck on when Tom let me drive it. And so I shot right up this road. And so we're sort of doing the same trip that I did with that, and I get to see that comparison.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely likes to take you all around.
I'm not imagining it.
No, you're not. And it's really floaty too.
Really floaty, that's the word for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is what we call white knuckle driving right here. And for you, you're used to it.
That's it.
But for me, this is not acceptable. And you would never want any family member to drive this.
I won't let my son drive it, and I built it for him.
There it is. I've already seen enough to know you need definitely something, and I think James Duff can absolutely help you.
Well, that's why I drove up. That's what I was hoping for. I've crawled around underneath the Duck and seen those components, and I've already got a fair amount of Duff components under this thing and been very happy with them. So that's the way I want to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting under this Bronco and seeing just what you've got. Kind of get an idea of how all these parts are, you know, working together, or honestly, they're really not working together right now. And that's really why you want to choose one vendor when you're doing suspension and steering, is they're looking at all those parts that they build as one entity. So it seems to really like to go left.
It does, and if you slam on the brakes, it'll do that too sometimes.
Okay.
But it can be better.
Yes, it can be a lot better.
That's good news. That's what I was hoping you would say.
Well, Tony, you know what? Let me show you some of the parts James Duff has to offer. I think you're going to really find something there that's going to help with this Bronco.
Great, man. I'm excited. Thanks. Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, so this is some of the components that I think your Bronco could really benefit from. And
Okay.
from the top, this is the new James Duff Dual Sport Heim Steer system. It comprises of a brand new tie rod, brand new drag link, and all of the hardware to go with it. Now, to create the bump steer eliminator system that I think you need,
Yeah.
you would also add on a new adjustable track bar and a riser bracket.
What's the riser bracket?
So a riser bracket will fit right over your axle track bar bracket, but it lifts the track bar up about 2 inches higher. And then what you do is you take your tie rod and you mount it above your knuckle. And what all this does is it pulls all of the geometry of
Changes the geometry.
It does. It makes it less drastic. And that will reduce normal bump steer. And because of how the system is designed, it'll also remove or eliminate all the bad bump steer. You'll also notice there's a pitman arm.
Yeah.
Now,
That doesn't look like the pitman arm I've got on mine.
that's right. Yeah, you have got.
Mine's got a drop one.
Yes.
Pretty severe angle. Why are we going with that?
Good question. You're actually also going to remove the drop track bar bracket. So you'll be removing both and going back to the stock setup.
Oh,
Yep. And the reason you're going to do that is because you're raising the steering and the track bar up instead of dropping the track bar and the drag link down. So this is going to get everything higher and tighter. It's going to minimize your angles, and it's going to reduce your bump steer.
fantastic.
Yep. There's a couple other products here that we're going to get into, and this is going to tie into your front sway bar. We're actually going to have it set up to where you can run the tie rod over the knuckle. If you didn't have these coil cups, you wouldn't be able to run your front sway bar with the tie rod above the knuckle. They would collide with each other.
Okay.
So you're going to need these in order to go with this.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's a few other ancillary things here that all tie it together, and we're going to show you more of that when we put it on your truck.
Awesome.
So we got your Bronco up in the air so we can really see what's going on here, right? Now, I got to say, you've got a great starting point because you've got the James Duff 5000A 2.5-inch suspension system already under this Bronco.
Yeah.
And you upgraded to the T-Rex arms.
Yep.
Well, now we've got to focus on the steering and just getting this thing to control and drive better, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tony, honestly, this steering setup, this is a GM 1-ton setup that's very popular. A lot of people use it, and it's a standard that most measure by, and it does pretty good, but James Duff can improve on that. And then behind it, we've got a adjustable track bar, which is good to get the track of the Bronco true and centered to the body and the frame. And then from there, you've got a drop track bar bracket, a drop pitman arm, and you've got a Hellwig sway bar with the quick detach option.
Yep.
So, and you've upgraded to front disc brakes.
Yes.
Pretty solid starting point, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But after driving your Bronco, I've realized that one of the key issues you're running into is this length right here and the length of the track bar behind it are very different.
Yes.
And so through the cycle, you're finding that it's basically twitching the steering wheel and pushing you into oncoming traffic. I think that's definitely something that James Duff can help you with, because in their system, they have a drag link that matches the length of the track bar.
Yeah.
So Tony, what do you think so far?
Well, I'm excited. I mean, like you said, the upgrades have been fantastic, but it's exciting to drive in a way that I don't really like. It can be a little scary to drive, bouncing all over the road like it does. When you talk about replacing this, are there measurements that have to be done? Like if I were doing this on my own, are there measurements that I would have to do in order to be able to do this? Or do I need something beyond that? Do I need a professional to come and look at this?
Gotcha. So the measurements that you're referring to, for many years, the Heim steering system that James Duff offers would require you to measure, or you would have to say, hey, I don't need to measure and check a box. Well, the new dual sport Heim steering system that James Duff recently came out with doesn't require that measurement as long as you have three things.
Okay.
You got a factory style frame,
Okay.
a factory style gearbox, steering gearbox, and you've got a factory style Dana 30 or Dana 44 front axle.
Well, I've got those.
If you got those, you just buy it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm not known for measuring more than properly on the right time, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we're also going to introduce a heavy-duty, hassle-free adjustable track bar as well.
Okay.
And there's going to be some other options that help tie this all together and make this Bronco handle and control much better down the road while you're driving.
Fantastic.
Great. Well, let's get to it.
All right, I'm ready.
next time on Bronco Garage.
We're here in front of James Duff for the second installment of The Teacher's Pet, a 1973 Ford Bronco owned by Tony Melee. We're going to be installing the brand new Bump Steer Eliminator Heim steer system on his truck to get it driving and handling better. Hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe and check us out on social media as well. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.